Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
What do you know all his lies? He lies. All he does is lie. But I digress. He then later walks up back in March, right? And then some rich desert Arabs give him a palace plane, and he goes up with a new plan: send the Palestinians to Libya. That's his new plan, okay? Send the Palestinians to Libya. But that's neither here nor there. The question is all of this coming from someone who is truthful or a liar? Somebody put it in the chat, please. Somebody put it in the chat. Is all of this coming from somebody who is truthful or a liar? That's the real question. That's the real question. Anyways, family, in light of all this evidence, and there is so much more, okay, we don't have enough time to get into everything. Okay, Donald Trump, who sent the U.S. military, all this happened in the same term, mind you, between January and now, okay? He sent the U.S. military to quell the Houthis from blockading Israeli supply vessels. Donald Trump, who unilaterally sent $12 billion of U.S. taxpayer-funded armaments to Israel. Donald Trump, who advised Netanyahu, who he can do whatever he wants to the Palestinians. Donald Trump, who is trying to impose the expulsion of native Palestinian population from their land. And we're trying not to get cut off here, okay? Because you know how these folks, they like to cut us off, but we're trying to be careful. But it's all this is in the news, right? Is this a pro-peace president or a pro-genocide president? Somebody put it in the chat, please. Is this somebody who's pro-peace or pro-genocide? Inquiring minds need to know. Furthermore, is there anything that Donald Trump says that can be trusted to be and believed to begin with? This man does nothing but lie. He is a lie. His essence is a lie. You know, we talked about this before. Right? About the Bible, right? There's a verse in the Bible when Jesus is talking to the Jews, and they claim, just like the Jews of today, they claim to be the descendants of Abraham, right? And then Jesus tells them, if your father was Abraham, then you would love me, but rather your father is the devil. He was a liar and a murderer in the beginning. You see, Donald Trump is exactly like that, but it's not just that he's a liar. He is the lie. His essence is the lie. When you look at his hair is a lie. That's not his hair, that's a lie. We look at his skin is a lie. That's not his skin, it's a lie. His suit is a lie. The weight on his scale is a lie. Everything about him is a lie. All of it. If he was outside today, live on camera, on a bright sunny day, and we can clearly see, judging by what has been shown on our screens, that it's apparently bright and sunny, and he said with his mouth, "Oh, what a bright and sunny day," I would still not believe him. I would not believe him until I verified it first, because his whole essence is a lie. He's a devil, okay? He's a liar, he's a criminal, and he's a corrupt opportunist, and even genocide isn't off the table for him. So how is it that he feels brave and smart enough to accuse the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, of an imaginary white genocide in South Africa? Which country is the only country that took Israel to the ICC on genocide charges and won? Which country is that? Which country was that? Wasn't it South Africa? Was it not South Africa? The U.S. armed this little baby to carry out genocide. The whole world is watching this genocide in horror, mind you. The whole world is behind the Palestinian people and supports the Palestinian people because of this genocide. The whole world is watching these Zionists, white supremacist Zionists, dismember and massacre and obliterate men, women, children, elderly, you name it, homes, massages, hospitals. There's nothing's off the table for these folks. They kidnap random Palestinians. The Palestinians get called prisoners. When the Palestinians retaliate, they call their people hostage. These are the devils we're dealing with. These are some highly charged devilish people. And Donald J. Trump has the audacity to try to ambush Cyril Ramaphosa and accuse the president of South Africa of an imaginary genocide. So would you think that with that little bit of information alone, that a self-respecting claimant, we have to say claimant, because they just claim the thing, okay? That a self-respecting claimant of Islam would never, ever side with such an obvious pharaoh of our time, which now brings us to Farouk Post. Now, Farouk Post, if y'all who don't know him, is allegedly Dr. Farouk Post, who studied in whatchamacallit, in Saudi Arabia. Okay. And he came back. What did he do? Of course, he got his name, basically supported within the black community, like they all do. Okay. I'm trying to say it like that. But that's just the game. That's just the hustle. That's just how it works. Okay. 1 second, family. 1 second, y'all. Let's see if we're still here. Okay, we good. Okay. All right. Because sometimes YouTube, when we start talking like that, they cut us off. Right. So we got to be really, really careful. We're going to be really, really, really careful. Because we get shut down a lot, right? So I'm seeing here that it's going a little bit funky, right? So I got to be real careful here, y'all, okay? So anyways, I digress. Farouk Post, Dr. Farouk Post, that is, right? He wanted to post something on his Facebook. Do y'all want to see what Dr. Farouk Post posted on his Facebook? Who wants to see it, y'all? 1 second, family. Let me get it for y'all. 1 second. So I'm going to show y'all what he posted. 1 second, family. That's one of his posts, by the way. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Watch this, y'all.
But we are starting with this whiteness. You are cutting the throat of whiteness. Shoot to kill the Gaza. Kill the poor. The farmer. Kill the poor. The farmer. But we are starting with this whiteness. You are cutting the throat.
Shoot to kill the poor. Kill. Oh man. I hope Julius Malema, he becomes Muslim, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But anyways, that's what he posted. And you saw there, well, let me just show you one more again, right? I'm going to show you again. 1 second, family. Let me just go back. That he accused, Cyril Ramaphosa of lying. That's what he accused him of, right? Look what he said, right? Caught lying red-handed. That's his writing right there. Caught lying red-handed. That's what he said, okay? He's spreading a post from Kim Guilfoyle, whatever that name is, Kimberly Guilfoyle, that's Donald Trump's ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, mind you. Out of all the people in the dunya he could spread from, that's the post he's spreading. So folks like this, when they start doing this stuff, when they start posting this stuff, there is no debating or arguing because they're not trying to find the truth. They're already pushing an agenda. That's what they're doing. They're pushing an agenda. And his agenda is very clearly and obviously an alt-right white supremacist agenda. Now we're talking about Farouk Post here. Now let's get into, real quickly, just for the benefit of the audience, about the kill the boy. Let's get into that. What is kill the boar? What is that? Let me pull this up, y'all. 1 second, family. 1 second, family. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. All right, here we go. 1 second.
Paper gold. You see, black folks are chumps. If America were to tell you to bring all the rocks in this country to her, and she'll give you $1 million for it, you'll do it. And the next day she'll tell you we're using rocks for currencies, chump.